live on both Instagram and Facebook here. So, how are you doing? I am so excited to be here, and today I am going to talk about wealth, and I'm going to talk about like the new economy. I'm going to talk about the different ways that wealth is working and how it is going to affect how you receive money. And so I have a wonderful story that I'm going to tell, and I cannot wait. I'll let some people join first, but let's start talking about. Hold on. Okay, it's still working. All right, I'll edit. Okay, so let's start talking about some of the differences with wealth and how I can tell that like the economy is changing, but it is up to us to steward that. It's up to us to really like anchor in these big changes. So when we think about the economy and we think about the way money works, you know, it had a lot to do with your performance. It had a lot to do with like proving yourself and working for your money and working for like all of the things. And so one of the biggest things that I have noticed is it's not working the same. And so some of the things that used to make me a shit ton of money, and money just used to like come and flow and flow and flow and flow, all of those things are different now. And I was like, what's going on? What's the purpose? Why are things shifting this way? And one of the ways, or one of the things that really shifted things for me is that I noticed that I would go from multiple 5-figure months to like barely $10,000, and I was like, well, what's going on? I'm doing the same things, saying the same things, showing up even more in my power. Like, what's what? So all of the things that used to work and used to bring me a lot of money and a lot of things into my world just stopped in an instant. What felt like an instant, but it wasn't an instant. It really wasn't. What really happened was that because I started unplugging from the matrix and really started tapping into who I was and the way I got to be seen, what I knew got to happen in my life, then all of the proving, all of the things that brought me to, you know, the multiple 6 figures, all of the things that worked in the past would no longer work, because now I know I am divinity, and all of the things that I needed to do, right, to be like, look at me and this is what I have and I'm dancing for my dollars, would no longer work, because I knew I didn't have to dance for my dollars. I knew I didn't have to prove myself anymore. I knew. And so what is happening is the economy is changing because our frequencies are rising. And so when you have higher frequencies, then you remember I did the whole experience called Unplugged, and I was talking about how the matrix is just not even working anymore. Like, it's not even there anymore. And so the things that we were doing were really plugged into an old system, a more patriarchal system. I like to say like the patriarchy is kind of like a triangle, right? It's more like hierarchical. The matriarchy is more of a circle. It's more divine. It's more feminine. It's more like everybody gets to win and everybody gets to rise. And the system was created by people who had a scarcity mindset and also want everybody to have a little bit of wanted everybody to have a scarcity mindset, because that's what keeps money in certain circles. Y'all feeling it? Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. And when I heard this story, I was like, of course, this makes so much sense. And so I was watching this video, and there was a young man, and he was talking about, he was a part of a group. And in that group, there were 4 black men, right, and 4 white men. Now, this isn't about race, but I just want you to hear the differences in how they responded. And so they asked the question of the entire group, and they said, what would you do, right? It's like towards the end of the world. Resources seem like they're limited, right? Because I don't believe in limited resources. None of us believe in limited resources, but resources are limited. What would you do in this case? So you've come across this great amount of food that is, you know, is going to be great. What are you going to choose? And so you have these 4 black men and you have these 4 white men. And they asked each of the 4 black men, and they're all in the same group. And the 4 black men said, oh, I would take everything that we have, divide it into 8, and I would give it to everyone, right? So that everybody has enough, right? Everybody has enough. So then they asked the 4 white men, and the 4 white men said, I would divide it into 4 and take care of my own. Like, they would only take care of their family, because it's like your family 4, this other person's a family 4. What do you do? And so, whereas if you think about it, the patriarchy, if you think about it, even the economy, capitalism, is all built upon a system that isn't for everyone to thrive. It's built upon a scarcity. I have to take my part of the pie because the pie is limited. So I've got to take care of my own. And if I don't take care of my own, then we won't survive. And so it's something that's ancestral, because each one of these men, every one of the, and like I said, it's not about race, but every one of the white men said, I would just cut this into 4 and take care of my people, my family, and everyone else can fend for themselves. And everyone, the black man said, I would take it and give it to 8, make sure there's 8 so that everybody has enough. And then we can figure out what we're going to do from there. And so when you listen to that story and you think about the where patriarchy was built upon, colonization, like all of those things, and you think about this world, right? This world, then you get to see and understand why things like school lunches or other things that just feel like, for a certain group, it feels like, of course we would give food, school lunches to kids that don't have enough. Of course, like, what are you talking about? Whereas everyone else is like, no, those school lunches take away from my kids. It's like, well, how would it take away when we know that feeding others is going to make everyone better? And so the ancestors, like I've been talking a lot about, like our ancestors, all of your ancestors, my ancestors, are calling for you to decide, who are you going to be in this world? Who are you going to be as the divine feminine rises and the economy changes? Are you going to choose an economy that is lack-based and only focused on you and your own? Or are you going to decide that you're a part of circulation? Because you get to choose. And this isn't about blame. This isn't about shame. This isn't about making you feel bad or someone else feel bad about what their history was or what even perceived privilege. It's not even about that. It's about, now I get to choose. I get to choose what I want to do and what I feel is going to be more expansive for me and for the world. And you have that power to choose, because blame and shame and guilt are the lowest frequencies. You ain't got time for that. No, we get to, shame is all about hiding, right? Shame is built on silence and secrecy, and that's the only way shame lives. And so it's never about shame. It's all about, oh, what am I going to choose now? Am I going to choose scarcity and lack, or am I going to choose divinity? And remember that I am never limited. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Picking up what I'm putting down. Because you're not limited. You're never limited. There's more than enough for you. There's more than enough for everyone. And you just have to choose. And so that's what Pleasure and Paid Month is all about. Because when you remember that there is no limit to what's available for you, what's available for your family, what's available for the community, and when you remember that your pleasure, your body, your choice is all contributing to this new economy, this new circulation, this new deciding that, there's no competition, right? I had some people ask me, like, oh, you're sharing other people's stuff, right? So I am all about, like, hey, this is what's happening. I just invested in buying 50 spots into one of my mastermind sisters and really good friend. She has this, it's called Juiced Up June, and it really is about having your most expansive month. And I'm thinking about what I'm doing in Divine Dollars and, like, talking about this whole matriarchal economy. And I was like, Juiced Up June plus Divine Dollars, that is amazing. What we need to do is I get to be a part of this circulation and share. Whereas we have a big situation where people are like, oh no, don't share anyone else's stuff, because if they share it and they like it, then they're going to buy into their mastermind or buy into this, and they're not going to buy into yours. And I'm like, no, there's a space for everyone, and there's more than enough room for everybody. And people invest in multiple things all the time. It's not like I'm doing this because I know that getting my people and sharing different things is going to advance them, and they're only going to do better in my experiences because of this. Whereas the patriarchal thing says, nope, I need to keep everything here. I'm at this top pyramid. Everybody else is below me. Praise me. Share my stuff, but I share no one else's. Yeah, no, that's not how it is. The truth is, the more I share other people's stuff, the more I say, this is a colleague, look at this is amazing, this is what we're doing here in my world, this is what they're doing in this world, this combined is going to blow you up, it's going to be amazing. That's a matriarchal society. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? That's matriarchal. And so the story that I shared when I shared about the 4 men who all got the 4 black men and the 4 white men who all got a chance to say how they would deal with scarcity, or fear, or how they would create an economy, and 4 men said, I would share it with everyone. And then the other group of 4 men said, I would just keep it on, but care about my own, because that's what I've been put on the earth to do, is to take care of my own, and that's it. That shows you what the fallacy is with the patriarchal economy, and where the bigness is when you think about the matriarchal economy. Because the circle is going to continue. It never stops, right? Is there an end to a circle? No. What happens with a circle? It just keeps giving, and it keeps giving, and it keeps giving, and it keeps giving, and it never ends, and it just grows, and it expands, and it's continuous. The triangle, like once you get to the top, there's nowhere else to go. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And so this is what pleasure and paid June is about. It's about the circulation. It's about giving to the world, like being a contribution. It's about there's no such thing as competition. That's why I share this person's work and this person's work. And I'm not afraid, like, you go work with them, girl, go ahead. You go work with me, you go ahead. Then you go work with this person, go ahead. I'm not afraid of what this looks like and what it can be, because I know that there is no limit. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And so this is why you see people fearing true equality, because they're like, well, no, if I don't see myself the most, then that means I'm being replaced, or it's scarcity. Versus the more I see, the more diverse, the more people. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is adding to and expanding. And so your ancestors, your heart, your soul, they're asking for you to choose who you're going to be in this time. Are you going to be in the circle that's going to keep giving and keep giving and keep expanding, and that's unlimited, that's never ending? Or are you going to try and climb to the top where there's a peak and there's no other place to go? Because divinity chooses one thing and scarcity chooses another. I'm picking up what I'm putting down. So I want you to think about, if somebody asks you, this is the end of the world or whatever. There's no end of the world, but you are believing that we're in some kind of recession, or there's some kind of depression with the economy, and then you're given this pie, and there's 4 people in your family and 4 people in this other family. Do you divide the pie in half and give one to, keep one for half for your family and keep one half for that family? Or are you keeping that pie to yourself because you're like, oh no? Because who knows? You split the pie. Everybody's eating, everybody's satiated, everybody's feeling so blessed, and all of a sudden you guys come up with brand new ideas of how to plant and brand new ideas of how to do some things, and then you're doing it together. That's what happens when we're in the circular economy. But if you just keep the pie to yourself, then all of those wonderful ideas, all of the things that are expanding your business, all of the things that would have come to you through that other person and that other family that you decided to share with are no more. So you feel the power of this, and how you have the power to choose what you are going to do right now. So I have chosen, I have decided, I know that I am a part of the circular economy. I am a part of the divine feminine. I am a part of this matriarchal economy that is replacing the triangle with the circle. I have no problem sharing other people, because I know that I am sharing from a standpoint of my people, the people in my world, get to gain more, which is why the pleasure and paid June, that's why you have access to La Lumière when you're a part of La Lumière. And then all of my La Lumière members, they not only get that, they get a gift from me that is called Juiced Up June. And in addition to Juiced Up June, they also have the certainty audio. They get it all. My gift to them. They get divine dollars. Because they get to understand what this matriarchal economy looks like, and how to unplug from one and plug into the other and become regenerative. The word that is big in the Juiced Up June with Jasmine Haydn. If you guys don't know, Jasmine Haydn is all about regenerative wealth. And when I was talking about the circular economy, I'm like, oh my goodness, we're talking about the same thing, just different ways. And divine dollars is all about being divinity, remembering your divinity, knowing that you're divinity, and you don't need to be in scarcity, because there is no limit. There is no end. You're constantly expanding. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down and feeling it in your body, and like, taking a deep breath to be like, oh, that feels good. Put it in the comments. Be like, I get it. I am a part of the circular economy, not the triangle where there's no other place for me to go. I am circulating. I circulate. No more scarcity. And so what does that look like? That looks like being partners with other people within your industry. That means finding people around you and sharing them, and maybe doing lives with them or going on podcasts, so that you can not only share your stuff, but also be a part of sharing them. Planting seeds. It's 11:22. Angel numbers, loving it. And so if someone came to you and said, this is what we're doing here. It's my family, it's your family. My family of 4, your family of 4. And they're right now, this is what we have to eat to sustain us as a community. What are you going to do? Are you just going to keep it and be like, I'm not going to tell them I got 2 rabbits because I just want to keep both rabbits for my family because I need to sustain us? Or are you going to take that rabbit and say, here, this is for you? Because guess what? When they find 2 rabbits, they're going to be like, here, this is for you. And then you find 2 more rabbits, you're going to be like, here, this is for you. And then you're going to get some fish, and then you're going to be like, oh, here, 2 pieces of fish. I have 2 pieces of fish. Here we go. And then you're actually what? Regenerating. And you're not relying only solely on yourself. And so take this, listen to this. There's so much juice in here. Because this is where you get to choose divinity or scarcity. This is where you get to choose 3 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 100. This is where you get to choose that there's no limits, unlimited, or scarcity. And if you're feeling that in your soul, then you get to check out my stories or DM me. Because there's many ways to enter into Pleasure and Pay June. So Pleasure and Pay June is the month that you get to make as much this month as you made all last year or all this year combined. How does that happen? It happens because you're entering the matriarchal society, the matriarchal wealth, the new wealth paradigm, where it's circulation and not the pyramid, not the hierarchy. And in this experience, you have multiple ways to enter, but the best way is to say yes to La Lumière, because in La Lumière, I'm dropping some new audios in a little bit. They're so good. That are really diving deep into this type of circulation, into joy being the activator for it, into remembering that, ooh, what comes up when I think about this, when I think about what I've done all year and just doing this in 1 month, what are my possibilities, what am I thinking in my head, where am I adding limitations, and where am I deciding that I get to be joyful and walking through those limitations. And so in addition to that, then in the middle of the month, we have Divine Dollars. And Divine Dollars are where you get to unplug from the unplug from the matrix and the hierarchical economy and plug into this circular economy. And where you get to be divinity and know that there's no limitations, no lack. And when you join, my gift to you is Juiced Up June. I have, I think, 40 more tickets left. Juiced Up June is an entire month of anchoring in the wettest, wildest, juiciest, wealthiest month of your life. With Jasmine Hayden, I'll also be speaking in Juiced Up June. This is the month that you make more money than you've made all year combined. And it's because you decided so. So Pleasure and Paid is like calling your name, and you're ready for this free ticket to Juiced Up June. Then you can either join La Lumière. That's $444 a month for 12 months. You get a whole year. You get the Certainty audios. You get everything. All of my micromind programs. You get everything with me. And I have some, oh my God, testimonials about what has happened when people spend a year with me. Blows you up, breaks the matrix. Like that. Or you can just join Divine Dollars. And Divine Dollars starts on June 16th. It is a 2-week micro program that is going to blow your mind. It's going to take my programs of magic, money, and all of those things and just build on top of them. If you've been involved in magic money, and I have clients that are involved in magic money, they have $20,000 in savings when they had none before. They've sold out their masterminds. They've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day because magic money is amazing. This is going to build on top of magic money and blow it out of the water. And that's $197 pre-sale until tomorrow. Then it goes up. Or if you are just excited about getting into more certainty, I have a $97 offer. It's the certainty activation. It's the frequency that makes you paid. $97, you get 15 audios. I don't know how many hours of content. It is amazing. A client was listening to this while she was doing walks, made $35,000 in 7 days. $97. Jump in that, and I still will buy you a ticket to Juiced Up June. So you would get the certainty audios for $97 plus Juiced Up June. You get Divine Dollars for $197 plus Juiced Up June. Or you just get it all, $444 a month. In La Lumière, you get the Divine Mirror, you get Juiced Up June, you get the Divine Mirror, you get it all. So, what are you choosing? Are you choosing the matriarchal circular new wealth paradigm, or are you staying with the old wealth paradigm that ain't not hitting on anything? I for one know which one I'm choosing, and because I chose it, it's made me the wealthiest woman. Imagine what it'll do for you. $35,000 in 7 days, one client. $100,000 days, $3 million in their business to date, selling out their programs, more people in their paid programs than they've ever had before. That's just by choosing the circular thing and deciding that there are no limits, there's no competition. We're all collaborators. We're all walking together. There is nothing for me to be afraid of. I am a category of one with other categories of one, and we're all walking together, and we all have pieces of the puzzle that we're all like contributing and changing this world, and we're all doing this together. Right. We love you. Love you guys. I will see you in my next live, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.